So basically, just like previously, we're just gonna wait until the 1 minute mark before we officially start the stream. I'm gonna go ahead and start work though, so just wait a couple seconds. Oh boy. So we're approaching the 1 minute mark. Um, now we've passed the 1 minute mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. So I just got back from dinner with the family. For those of you who don't know, which is probably all of you because I really didn't tell anyone, um, my birthday was pretty recent. So the family decided to take me out for my birthday dinner, as well as my dad, but he's not feeling well because my dad is born a couple days after me. Um, it's just he unfortunately didn't feel well enough to go with us today, so he got to stay home, um, which is whatever. If he didn't feel well, that's all right. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can't finish off doing the Iriomote assault rifle. We're gonna come through using these L pieces here to finish off the kind of design that we have going on the weapon itself. So that's going to go there, and then these are going to go up like so. And then we're going to switch it back on around over to here. I can already tell that I don't think stream viewership will be as good as it was this afternoon. This afternoon is when I have, I think, the most people. And though I'm going to probably have to say this again, because not like everyone isn't here yet. I'm sick, in case you can't hear it in my voice. So I've got a sore throat as of right now. It's kind of really annoying and bothering me. Iriomote is pronounced exactly how I just said it. It's Japanese. It's one of the islands of Japan. And don't feel bad because I had to look up what it was. I took Japanese for 3 years, so I already knew how to pronounce it for the most part. Obviously, in those 3 years, I've forgotten how to pronounce a few different things. My re was getting really, really bad because read isn't just um, ri. There's two other sounds that go into pronouncing that letter. So I just got so happened to get good at it. So yeah, I'm sick. I'm not feeling the best. Um, so just kind of bear with me on that point if you can. Um, my stream just ended pretty suddenly last time. That's because I was going out to dinner with the family for my birthday, as I was just explaining. Um, So it just like out of nowhere, boom, I was gone. Uh, Hopefully that doesn't happen again. If it does, I'm sorry. If it doesn't, then we're good. Uh, Swift Curse, Lego Master, and Irish Panda. Welcome to chat. You guys are a little bit different from the usual crew that's here. Usually we've got some different people here. We're pretty much going to be done with this in this stream. The magazine's the last thing that we have to do, and this is what we're doing right now. So we should be done pretty soon. So we're going to come through and we're going to delete out this back section so that we can place a sideways facing stud here so it looks a little bit better. Brick Armory, welcome to chat as well. Thank you guys for the kind words. It's honestly what's keeping me going because I've got a pretty bad sore throat right now. I have no idea where it came from. It just out of nowhere it came in. So I'm trying to deal with that while also streaming. So just kind of bear with me. Like if I stop talking for a while, it's because I'm trying to conserve my throat. When did you learn how to get the mag and trigger design like that? The mag design I've known for a while now, I think. In order to pin down exactly when I learned how to do it, you have to go back and look at my videos. As for the we're just going to place a piece here so that it doesn't look drastically bad. As for the trigger design, I've known how to do trigger designs for most of my life. The only reason I do mag designs like this, crap. I didn't think it was going to do that to me. That's not good. I forgot that these count, even though I could have sworn there was a piece over top of that. Crap. What happens if I were to do this? Can I then place this piece back in there? All right, so we just have to move each one of these pieces out of the way as we go. The reason I do the mag design like this and LVD is because you can't use the standard technique where you just offset a few studs using plates. So you can't use that technique here, so I use this technique. And this technique is, in my belief, a little bit better because it's actual, like it's an actual physical connection between Technic and studs as opposed to how generally Lego builders do it, which is an illegal connection and can't be like relied upon as much as this can, because this is an actual connection between Technic. So place these in like so. Do it on this side as well. And that'll be it for the magazine. So that's pretty much the entirety of the Iriomote assault rifle. Aside from the top of the magazine, we currently just have this portion of the magazine done. So I'm about to hide everything that's in brown and then come through and fix up the inside of this magazine because it is just a slight mess. So if you want to make bolts on weapons very smooth, you have to do it slightly differently. So Lego Gun Builder replicas, you aren't necessarily late, but the stream, not the stream, but this gun will be done soon. So here, this bolt is actually built sideways, using these pieces and a few other different methods. Essentially, right? So we'll come through and we'll set up how the standard M4 looks like, and this might not be what your M4 looks like. I'm just gonna make just like a standard look to it. So I can demonstrate a point. So say this is the upper receiver of your M4, and your charging handle is going to be running inside of this track so that your shell ejection port is basically right here. So this is your shell ejection port right here, and then this is the track where the bolt is going to be moving along the inside. So the purple is going to represent where the bolt is. And generally speaking, you start with a bolt that just kind of does this on the inside. And the problem with this is that is what you're running into, right? It's not cocking smoothly. So the reason it's not cocking smoothly is because it's incorporating too much friction along this and this, these two side pieces, so that if you have your top of the receiver here and the bottom of the receiver down here, you basically form a box that can't bend in either direction to let this pass in freely. So you incorporate a lot of friction. So there's a few different ways to solve this. You can basically just not use those pieces. The first thing that you could try to use is Technic pieces. So we're going to come in here and we're going to get a 6 half beam. So we're going to go ahead and delete you out. And just to get it where we want it, we're going to place this. So 6 half beam, delete that back out, put this back in. And then we're going to use a connecting bushing to do that. Like this. And then basically the rest of your bolt is going to be this and this. And the reason for that is you can see right here that this does not actually contact the side of the wall. So this has room to move on the inside and out. And this would obviously require a little bit of experimentation. And to get the most strength out of it, I would make this like 3 down like this, and then take and duplicate these so that they're down here as well. And then leave the middle channel open so that you can have a rubber band that comes from here up to the front so that you can reset your bolt. That's one way to look at it, or you can look at it the way that I did it on this model, which is all sideways built basically, with these in the middle, and these are out on the side, and then this is the bolt here in the center, just above the magazine. So you can see that there's a little bit of air between the bottom of this bolt, which will just give this bolt some room to move around freely, as well as you can barely see it here, but this piece doesn't actually touch this piece right here. So we'll see if we can hide this. So here's the good example. So this plate layer is on the same plate layer as here, but you can see that you have room between the front of this and this piece, which translates to having room between that piece and that piece. You can see how there's just a little bit of gap, And because there's a little bit of gap, you have a lot more smooth bolt function than you normally would. So I've started doing that on pretty much all of my models in terms of trying to get the bolt design to be like that. I personally think it's just more worth it to be like that. Yeah, okay. It's just more worth it to be like that than other ways. It works better, to be honest. It's more efficient. It's a lot smoother than other ways that you might be able to do it. What is this gun chambered in? 300 blackout, I think. Yeah, 300 blackout. So just to kind of expand it. Okay, see, so this won't work. So we're actually gonna drop this down so the bolt can run over top of this freely. Just gonna have this piece right here to let that run up the top. One using bricks. Let me see if I have any receivers in here that I could just use for example real quick. I do not. That sucks. So we're just gonna set up another receiver real quick. So we'll just say that this is the upper receiver. The best that I could be able to do is if you took this brick and turned it sideways and then placed a piece like that to either side of it. So if we do place that there, and then I think that a plate and then a smooth plate will fit without touching the wall in here. Oops. So this will actually touch the wall. So you could do it like this and just remove this middle layer so that you have a brick and then this, and then you have a little bit more of a gap to work with. Of course, that's slightly more difficult to do, and you'd have to really experiment. But that's the best that I could give you with plates. And then to do your charging handle, you just have to kind of do something where like an L sticks up. That goes there, and then so your charging handle would basically be something like that. And then this would just have to be on back like so. how I did my saber-tooth receiver is basically just by using a whole bunch of these. So if you do a brick, 2 plates, a brick, 2 plates, then these pieces right here will fit perfectly flush on either side. So that's basically how I did the saber-tooth receiver. As for the Iriomote assault rifle, it is done. We have every single working feature in it that we can have. So we have the safety and the fire button. It's a 2-stage AUG style trigger, so pulling it halfway goes semi-auto, and then pulling it full way goes full auto. We have the folding grip right here, the gas adjustment and muzzle. Shell ejection port is this thing right here. The charging handle, which is on either side and folds out. Like that. The mag release, which is this lever. The magazine, which is removable, and it's 3 studs by 7 with a 4-stud wide plate on bottom and a 2-stud wide front receiver. Stock adjustable cheek rest. Sling mount over here, which can be reversed around to this side if needed. And the flip up sights. So we have standard pistol sights here, and then you can flip them up to form rifle sights. And that completes our Iriomote assault rifle. The bolt for the saber-tooth is the old style of bolt that I used to do, and the old style bolts that I used to do are the same bolt styles that you're doing. So the brick-based ones. I haven't switched over to doing newer style ones until I don't know, actually we're gonna have to check it out to figure out when I switched over to newer ones. I know for a fact that it was in 2016 and it was towards the bottom. So the Most used the newer style. The Mastery edition of the MPXT did as well. The Marjorie, I believe, also did. I think the majority of these are old style. I think basically the start of 2017 is when I started using the newer style of receivers or of charging handles and bolts and things like that. So the Iriomote is now complete, and we can move on to building something else. So that means we got to find something else to build. So we're going to start from the very beginning and work our way forward, basically. So this is like the very first ever from Quicksilver Industries. I don't know, I don't really feel like building another bullpup rifle. I haven't built any form of Chicom CQB, and this is kind of based off of the Chicom CQB. It even says it in the description. I've read pretty much all the descriptions. This was kind of like a cool AK M4 Honey Badger crossover. It's got like the AK grip, but the kind of like the um, gas system of an AK, but turned upside down, but the muzzle brake of an A94, the magazine release of an AK. 300 blackout. This is kind of like the upgraded version of what we were just looking at. I don't really feel like building a Mark 11. I've already built the Mark 11. Kind of, anyhow. I don't think I built it with this stock or this rail, but I've basically made a Mark 11. I do not feel like it. So we've basically gotten to the end without any idea of what to build. But if we do the Jaguar, we're able to do the Snow Leopard version of it, as well as the, if I can find it, we're also able to do the Black Panther version of it. I think we're going to do what I had planned to do a while ago and build the Hornet assault rifle. So we're going to go ahead and grab a file. We're going to grab this file or for an AK style of weapon, and then basically just kind of come through and modify it to look like this just a little bit. Nah, I won't do that. I won't be cheap. We'll start from scratch, which means we're going to have to start with we'll come back down and we'll do the Jaguar because we can start from scratch with it, and it'll be a good idea. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to end the stream for now. I'm probably going to go take a shower, and while in the shower I'm going to think about how I'm going to do certain dimensions and different things like that. So I think we're going to figure out how we're going to do this basically while I'm taking a shower, and then I'll be back on later tonight to finish off some more of the live stream. So also because of this is technically titled wrong as well, so we're going to fix that. Anywho, that's pretty much it for this stream. So I'll be back later tonight to come through and build the Jaguar. It shouldn't be too long. A shower shouldn't be too long anyhow. And then I'll be back so that we can start work on another rifle. So remember to follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And remember to check out my website at bojthemeister.weebly.com so that you guys can check out all my different LEGO gun models that I have posted there for now. But yeah, I'll be back